I actually wanted to be a teacher initially, and then also wanted to be in something in the medical field or healthcare. So my first degree was from the University of Wisconsin at La Crosse, and it was a degree in public health education. So I kind of combined both worlds. That was in the early 80s, and there wasn't a lot of jobs when you came out of college. So I came back home, Chicago, and went back to nursing school. And really enjoyed that. A lot of teaching in nursing, so you can kind of was able to combine both. And then at the end of my nursing education, I couldn't decide what kind of nurse to become. So during your rotation, you have different types of rotations, clinical rotations, and I couldn't quite decide. And then I had my oncology rotation. And I had a great experience with a patient where he was a very sick man, and I spent all day with him, and he never said a word all day long. And then at the end of the day, about 3 o'clock, I was leaving, and I said, "I'll see you tomorrow." And he said, "Would you pray with me?" And I said, "Okay." And so I sat down, took his hand, he prayed. And the next day I came back, and I found he had passed on. And so I checked his chart, and I'll never forget, the documentation in the chart said, "Patient found without pulse or respirations at 3:10, which was just after I had left. So, it bothered me for two reasons. One was that I was the last person to see him alive. And you wondered, did I say the right thing? Did I do the right thing? The impact that you had on someone like that, it was amazing. And the fact that he was found alone, it really bothered me. So I really thought what an opportunity for me, what a connection I could make with patients and really make a difference. With oncology patients, you get to know them and their family, their long-term, a lot of teaching. So I really finally found my niche in oncology nursing. Another part of my nursing career, I was assigned to the unit that took care of teenage leukemia kids with leukemia. And nothing will smack you in the face with reality than having 17, 18-year-olds going through, life-threatening treatment. And I got to know those kids very well. And I remember one of the moms sent me Christmas cards for 10 years after her son had died, because we had just gotten close as people. And I think it was that experience that made me think, you never know how short life can be. And I thought, I'm never going to get up and dread going to work. Every day was special, and to that day, since then, I've never dreaded getting up to work, never took a job I didn't like. Either I liked my job and I was good at it, or I didn't take it. So I never found myself in a career rut, because just to me, life was too short to do that. For years, I never wanted to do anything but be a clinician. I never wanted to be a manager. I wanted to do real important work. And then as I was put in positions of leadership, I realized that you have a direct responsibility to your staff and also your patients, even in a leadership role. And even to this day, I still go into the hospital, still go and talk to patients. It keeps me grounded, being able to be comfortable around the clinical setting, and it gives me credibility among the physicians, among the nurses that, I've been in those rooms, and I know the stresses and the frustrations and the challenges and the rewards that you get from that kind of work. You're seeing people when they're so vulnerable. No one comes to the hospital unless you're having a baby that isn't scared, and you put them in a gown, older men in a gown, and all of a sudden just they lose their sense of self, their security, and it's a scary, scary place. So having those folks around who really care about them as people is just so important. We have, almost 15,000 associates in 6 different hospitals, and physicians, hundreds of physicians and clinics and things. And I think part of it is really instilling in our associates the body, mind, and spirit, and what our mission and our vision and our values are. Matter of fact, today and tomorrow we brought 300 of our leaders together this morning and then tomorrow morning for what we're calling a Mission Renewal Day. Just not talk about the budget, not talk about strategy, just to try and renew them as leaders. Because it's so stressful being a leader. Healthcare is changing so much. How to make sure that we keep ourselves grounded in what our mission and what our vision is, and how to make sure that everything that we do for our associates, for our staff, helps them keep themselves grounded and keeps themselves renewed. So we try and work a lot with our leaders to help them then pass that on to our associates. But it takes a full commitment. I'm not sure how many health systems really take 600 people off-site for 4 hours to talk about just renewing themselves. So we're very committed to that.
You know, when it came to launching our image into the world, WE was really the only choice for me and my company. Whether we were in need of a website, hosting service, commercial, or a music video, it didn't matter. WE literally does it all. They even produce television shows. And best of all, they provide these exceptional services at unbelievable rates. And because they're skilled at so many things, there was really no need to go anywhere else.
Get a website with hosting service for just $14.95 a month. Register a new domain for just $1.99 a year. Get 500 full-color business cards for just $29.99 or 1,000 full-color letterhead for just $149. Call now or log on to we-productions.com.